We are just days away from jumping back into the Ghost of Sparta's shoes one more time. And while the rage-filled bearded Baldy has grown more caring and empathetic in his older years, there is no denying that Kratos is a certified badass when it comes to achieving his goals. So strap in as we count down to Ragnarok, Kratos' 10 most badass moments so far. Number 10. Killing your creator. We're kicking off this series with the catalyst that made Kratos into what he is today. Ares was a real piece of shit. The original God of War not only manipulated Kratos into killing his enemies for him, he then had him move on to innocent people, purely to prove that Kratos would do his bidding. Finally, having Kratos murder his family, as Ares believed it would make him a stronger warrior, was enough to push him over the edge. Kratos finally turned on Ares, and after the entirety of the first game, Kratos got his revenge. Not only earning him the title of God of War, but also began his rage-filled hatred of the gods. Number 9. Statue of Liberty. One thing the God of War series does well, among many others, is opening its games with amazing sequences. God of War 2 started out with Zeus draining nearly all of Kratos' power and placing it into a giant statue of Helios, the god of the sun. As Kratos makes his way through the level, the two clash several times, this resulting in Kratos taking down the massive enemy. Unfortunately, the lucky bugger in his dying moments managed to crush Kratos, weakening him enough for Zeus to swoop in and finish him off with the Blade of Olympus. More on that prick later. Number 8. Bros before gods of death. Being a family member to Kratos can be hazarded for your health. Younger brother to Kratos, Deimos, makes his appearance in God of War, Ghost of Sparta. After an initial brotherly brawl, the two quickly form an alliance to take on Thanatos, the god of death.
Most metal name ever.
As the fight reaches its climax, Thanatos crushes Deimos against a cliff, unleashing an extremely high amount of rage even by Kratos standards. After dispatching the god of death, Kratos buries his brother next to his mother, vowing to make the gods pay for taking yet another family member from him. Number 7. Taking down a mountain. Ever wonder what would happen if an ant decided to fuck your shit up? Well, this is the fight for you. A boss battle that makes it onto many lists purely due to its mammoth scale, this is as epic as big bosses can go. Kronos in Greek mythology fathered many of the gods in the God of War series. With a prophecy stating that he would be overthrown by one of his offspring, he literally ate them. All but Zeus, who eventually defeated the Titans and released his siblings. He was punished by having a temple chained to his back and forced to walk the Desert of Lost Souls for eternity. That temple held Pandora's box, which is something Kratos was after. One thing led to another, and the big guy lost some fingernails, some guts, and eventually his suffering. Number 6. Killing the Greek gods. Okay, so this could have filled out most of the list on its own. God of War has Kratos at his most bloodthirsty, and oh boy, the results are not for the squeamish. Let's count them down. Number 5. Reuniting with two old friends. Fan service is something very hard to do well. The line between eye-rolling and awesome is extremely thin. The Blades of Chaos retrieval, however, was bloody excellent. Now for a somewhat controversial view, I really love the Leviathan axe. I think with God of War 2018's weightier gameplay, it's pretty close to perfect. But the Blades of Chaos are one of gaming's most recognisable arsenal additions. Rich with lore and stained with the blood of countless gods and beasts, seeing Kratos fighting his inner demons in the decision to wield them once more was heavy. Knowing there is no other choice, and accepting them once more was an emotional, but also a fuck yeah moment for all of us. Number 4. Starting a new family. A major part of Kratos' backstory is his family. It's a tragic tale, and one that really sides the player with him throughout his journey. So when God of War 2018 dropped, it was very satisfying to see a tortured Kratos had achieved what he thought he'd never have again, a family. Not only that, Atreus is a fantastic addition to the entire game. For every Ellie, Luigi, and Cortana, there's a Claptrap, Na'vi, or Ashley Graham. Sidekicks in games are tricky, but they nailed it. And seeing Kratos slowly learn to be a better father over the course of the game is an emotionally charged roller coaster. Their relationship feels very similar to Joel and Ellie in The Last of Us, and the dynamic works so well. He isn't Father of the Year, but he is trying. Number 3. The Bloody Valkyries. Sweet baby Jesus. Back into the bloodshed, the Valkyries are a welcome but frustrating addition to God of War 2018. You will fight 8 Valkyries scattered throughout the map in well-hidden locations. Each of these female warriors have their own fighting style, so the same tricks won't work twice. You must adapt to each encounter. Once all 8 are defeated, celebration time, right? Nope. You will then come face to face with what I believe is the hardest gaming boss on the market, Sigrun, the Valkyrie Queen. She's an absolute beast. Incorporating all the Valkyrie skills, this one boss fight took me a few days to get past. It's From Software level insanity. But the euphoric feeling you get when taking her down is like all the best experiences you can think of rolled into one. Pure heaven. Number 2. Killing the Unkillable. Introduced to us initially as the Stranger, Baldur is the main antagonist of God of War 2018. Son of Odin and Freya, the Norse god of light is a vicious fighter, unable to feel pain or come to any harm. Sent to find Kratos by Odin, he is hopeful Kratos' reputation of being a god killer will let him feel pain once again. Goading him into a fight, the first encounter with Baldur is a thrilling cinematic slugfest. Encountering him several more times throughout the game, the climax sees his curse lifted and him finally able to feel again. It's not an overly challenging fight by any means, but the intensity just keeps ramping up. Kratos and Atreus have to contend with a god and a reanimated corpse of a giant, thanks to Freya siding with her son. It's God of War doing what God of War does best, battle sequences that put movies in the corner. Before we get to our number 1 spot today, a quick plea of desperation. Hopefully you have enjoyed the list so far. If you have, please like and subscribe to stay up to date with all of Let's Die Together Gaming's content. Number 1. Daddy Issues. Now you may have noticed in the Killing of the Greek Gods segment, one Santa Claus looking motherfucker was absent from the list. The King of Olympus, God of the Sky, Thunder, Lightning, and the Heavens, what a self-righteous dickhead, has been nothing but a source of misery for Kratos. Parading as a minor ally in the first God of War, he quickly turned into the main antagonist for the subsequent games. Now his Greek mythos is extremely interesting. I do recommend a read, but we are here for Kratos. Fathering Kratos and his younger brother to a woman named Callisto, Zeus was soon told a prophecy that a marked warrior would rise up and kill him. Deimos had markings at birth and was sent to the god of death for eternal imprisonment. He chose poorly. The several clashes the father and son have come to an earth-shattering climax in the original trilogy. Spanning over 30 minutes and several massive sequences, the conflict ends with Kratos beating the ever-living shit out of his father, finally ending his reign and sending Greece into chaos. But revenge is sweet. So how did we do? What's your favourite Kratos moment? Comment below, and don't forget, if you like what you saw and you want to see more, hit like and subscribe to stay up to date with all of Let's Die Together Gaming's content. Thanks for watching and see you next time.